You know that feeling when it seems like your own mind is working against you? Well, today we're going to dive into this incredible idea, backed by both science and, believe it or not, ancient wisdom, that you can literally rewire your brain to break free from those negative thought patterns. Does this question just hit a little too close to home? That feeling of being trapped in a mental loop? Where the same discouraging thoughts, the same criticisms just play over and over and over again. It's exhausting, right? And look at these. Thoughts like these can feel so personal, almost like they define us. But the reason we're showing them is to point out just how common this struggle really is. If any of these sound familiar, trust me, you are definitely not alone. So why do these thoughts get so stuck in our heads? Well, there's this really powerful metaphor that helps us get it, the idea of negative thought grooves. Okay, imagine your mind is like a field of fresh snow. The very first time a thought crosses it, it just leaves a faint little track. But if that same thought crosses again and again and again, that track becomes a deep, well-worn groove. It becomes the easiest path, right? The path of least resistance for your mind to take. And that's exactly how these negative patterns become our automatic go-to. And this is what we're aiming for. The goal isn't just to stop thinking the old thought. It's about intentionally carving out a brand new, stronger path right next to it. We're talking about consciously deciding to get off that old, muddy track of I'm not capable and building a smooth, fast superhighway called I am equipped. Now, to make this whole thought groove idea feel a little more real, our source shares a personal story that just perfectly captures what it's like to be stuck in this loop of doubt. Let's take a look at how this actually plays out. This was it. This was the specific thought that kept the author completely stuck. Just think about that for a second. Every time you face a new challenge, big or small, this is the first voice that pops into your head. It's so draining. It kills your momentum, and pretty soon it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is the loop of doubt in action. And here we have the big aha moment, the absolute game changer. The secret is to stop trying to fight and erase the old path. Honestly, that's an exhausting battle you're probably not going to win. Instead, you pour all your energy into building a new, positive, truth-filled path until that new path becomes so strong, so familiar, that it becomes your new default. All right, so how do we actually build that new path? Let's get into the practical, hands-on technique that's at the very heart of all this. It's a simple skill called interrupt and replace. What's so brilliant about this is just how simple it is. This isn't about passively hoping your thoughts will change someday. Nope. This is an active, conscious skill. You take control. You stop a thought right in its tracks, and you deliberately choose what to put in its place. And here's the playbook, broken down into 4 simple but really powerful steps. First, you gotta notice the thought. You can't change what you don't even realize is happening. Second, interrupt it. This is the pattern breaker. You can mentally yell stop or even say it out loud. Third, replace it. This is key. You have to have a pre-decided truth ready to go. And fourth, and this is where the real magic happens, repeat it every single time. This is how you carve that new groove. Here's a perfect example. The old groove, that old automatic thought says, I always fail. You catch it, you interrupt it, and you replace it with, I am learning, growing, and succeeding. See how the replacement isn't just some fluffy, empty phrase? It's a powerful statement about process and moving forward. That's what makes it so believable and so effective. Okay, now you might be thinking, this sounds nice, but is it just wishful thinking? Absolutely not. Let's dig into the evidence for why this technique is so incredibly effective from a few different angles. So, this whole approach is solid for a few reasons. First up, neuroscience. There's this thing called neuroplasticity, which basically means our brains aren't fixed. They can change. When we repeat a thought, we are physically building new connections, new pathways. We are literally rewiring our own hardware. Second, this idea is ancient. It lines up perfectly with the spiritual principle of being transformed by the renewing of your mind. And finally, the power of action. Actually speaking a new truth out loud engages your mind and your body, which makes that new pattern stick so much faster. So we've talked about the what, the how, and the why. Now it's time to turn all this knowledge into real-world action with a simple, straightforward challenge. That's it. Just 7 days. This isn't some huge, lifelong, scary commitment. It's just a short, manageable sprint to kickstart the process of building those new mental habits and carving out those brand new grooves. And here is your game plan for the next week.
First, get real with yourself. Write down your top 3 recurring negative thoughts. Second, for each one, create a powerful positive affirmation that punches it right in the nose. Make it something you can actually believe. Third, practice. Every single time one of those old thoughts pops up, you use the interrupt and replace skill. And finally, just take a minute or two each day to journal. You'll be amazed at the little shifts you start seeing in your mood, your confidence, and the choices you make. Let's leave it with this final powerful thought. This is so much more than just thinking positive. It's about realizing that you have the power to consciously direct your own thoughts. And when you do that, you can fundamentally change the direction of your entire life. So the real question is, what new thought grooves are you going to start building today?
Want to start your week with power, peace, and purpose? Join the Affirm Your Greatness community, where faith meets mindset, all for just $9 a month or $50 a year. This is your space to speak life, grow boldly, and walk in God's promises. Affirm your greatness, speak life, live boldly.
Now available on Amazon.com. Unlock the transformative power of positive affirmations with this essential guide by certified personal development coach and motivational speaker, Dennis of DennisMotivates.com. In Affirm Your Greatness, you'll discover the science behind affirmations and learn how to craft personalized affirmations that resonate with your unique journey. Get your copy today. Find the link in the description. Thanks.